So everyone, Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV, in the morning after the game before. Man City 2, West Ham 1. It is what is expected, to be quite honest with you. And it's, look, I've got to give it to Man City. Great team, fantastic team. The way they play football, the way they keep the ball, they have you chasing shadows for a lot of it. Probably the best team in the league, I would say, in terms of football playing and making it difficult for you. Although we did give them a game, I'm very proud of West Ham for giving them a game. It just wasn't to be. Lanzini got a consolation after Gundogan, I think, too easily on the back post. Found himself difficult weather conditions, so I can understand if that's like a problem. And then Fernandinho wrapping it up right at the end before we got one back for a Lanzini screamer, to be honest with you. And he's got to be starting next week, Lanzini, for me. Ben Rama just couldn't get into the rhythm. Wasn't his game, to be quite honest with you. I couldn't get into the rhythm. They make it very, very difficult. Antonio looked isolated, but Lanzini was a spark when he came on, and he tries to make things happen, and he's not frightened. I think that's what a big problem of ours is, that we're scared to shoot from any sort of distance. We tried to Man City yesterday, and when you go toe to toe with them, it just doesn't work, to be honest with you. The way we beat Liverpool was we bullied them, and we didn't try that. We had personnel there. We've got to get more crosses into the box. Johnson, for me yesterday, difficult game for him, and I'm not going to knock him by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's time for Soufal to come in, because what Soufal does do is he delivers balls into the box, and that's where Souček got a lot of his goals from last year. Johnson had a couple of opportunities to get the ball in the box. He tried to piss ball around with it too much. But it's all part of his learning. It's all part of development for them sort of players. And, you know, I'm not going to knock him whatsoever. He's done fantastically for us. But I think it's time for Soufal to slot back in. All depends on what's happening to Cresswell. Masuaku, left wing back. He went 5 at the back yesterday to try and shore it up, but just couldn't get himself into the game. Antonio looked very isolated up front. What I would say, though, is two things, really. They're shameless, Man City fans. Now, I know that we've got quite a good relationship with Man City, and a majority of them are good, but the things that they were singing yesterday, I mean, it is easy to beat teams when you spend an average of 50, 60 million pounds per position, per player, and they've got subs that do the same. It's quite easy. So, like the things that they're saying about, you know, putting Cockneys, what did they say? Tearing Cockneys apart, and you've seen the champions now fuck off home. It's easy to do when you've got all that money to spend, and they're becoming quite shameless, which it is what it is, isn't it? I'm not going to complain too much, but they're becoming quite shameless, the Man City fans. Like, they should have a bit more humility. They've been in the positions that we've been, and all of that sort of thing. But it is what it is. You do what you want. They need to fill up their ground a bit more. They kept on having a go at us for not filling our allocation, although the trains were all delayed and cancelled yesterday, so there was travel positions. But for the champions of England not to fill their ground, it's quite embarrassing, to be quite honest with you. But it is what it is. We move on. We move on to Brighton Wednesday. It's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination, but what a time to break a hoodoo this would be. If we can get that 3 points, is massive for us. We're still sitting fourth. We're still going good guns. Got a tough couple of fixtures in front of us, but it's always going to happen. Good thing for us now is that the travelling in the December, although we play every 3 days, which is mind-boggling, to be quite honest with you, but we play every three or 4 days throughout the month of December. But the travelling is at a very minimum. We barely have to travel at all, apart from Burnley on the 12th. But everything else is in and around London. So that should give us a little bit of respite. But it is what it is. We move on. You take that defeat you was expected. So, yeah, one thing left to say. Come on, you irons.